Alright everybody, it's your boy Fusion. Welcome to the Oceanic production. It's official as of now it's less than a year to the Club World Cup, so the countdown has actually begun. Yes, talking about the greatest club tournament in the world by my standards, because I feel it has the potential to be so. Now, the Club World Cup will be taking place in the United States, and it's scheduled to start in June 15 to July 13, 2025. Now, this video is primarily going to focus on the history of the tournament, the change in format, and also how this tournament will forever change club football, at least in the other confederations, excluding Europe now. This one. Now, the official name of the tournament is called the Mundial de Clubs FIFA 25, and it will be the 21st edition of the Club World Cup. And please note that the Club World Cup began way back in the year 2000 with Corinthians of Brazil winning the first edition. Now, also note that from the year 2001 2004 it didn't actually hold due to a number of factors that I really don't care about those ones, but all the same, from 2005 till now, it has been held every year as a 16-team tournament actually. But in 2007, it became a 7-team tournament, introducing the host nation's champion club, into the mix. So this 7-team tournament included the UEFA Champions League winners and the Copa Libertadores winners entering in the semi-final stage of the competition, while the CAF Champions League winners, that is Africa, AFC Champions League winner, which is Asia, and CONCACAF Champions League winner, which is North America, all enter in the quarterfinal stage. While the OFC Champions League winners, which is the Oceania region champion, and the host nations champion club will all play in the first round to determine who's going to play either of those three teams. That was basically what has been on since 2007 till now. But come next year, 2025, the Club World Cup will be increasing from 7 to 32 teams, making it a much more prestigious and bigger tournament. Out of those 32 teams, 12 will be Europeans, 6 will be South American teams, 4 will be Africa, Asia, and North America. We have 4 teams each. The OFC will have 1 slot. Now, if you do the math, you find that sums up all to 31 teams. That's because the last slot belongs to the host nations. We don't even know exactly how they're going to give it to that club. Maybe they will invite them, or I don't really know. But when you add that team, then it all sums up to 32 teams, which will be what we'll be expecting come next year. Now, due to the vastness of this tournament, FIFA decided that it's going to be played every 4 years rather than annually. And in actuality, it's actually replacing the FIFA Confederation Cup. That tournament that saw the previous World Cup winner, the champions of each confederations, like national teams now, and the host, making it 8 teams, all play. Yes, so it's going to be serving as a prelude to the next 2 years World Cup, 2026 World Cup, which will also be in the USA. So this FIFA Club World Cup will actually be like the Confederation Cup now, happening every 4 years before the World Cup. So this year will be the Club World Cup, next year will be the FIFA World Cup. That's how it's going to be like. Now, as I've said before, every confederation will be represented in this tournament. For the OFC, the singular club representing them is Auckland City. Yes, that mighty Auckland City team that are the OFC Champions League winners, as they have won it back to back. They literally win that back to back for fun. Like, you understand? They just recently defeated the club called Piré, I think, a Tahitian club, 4-0 in the most recent finals. And they just be looking to compete and just show that the OFC still has something to offer in such a massive tournament. Now, the 4 teams representing CONCACAF, which is the North American Confederation, are Seattle Sounders of the United States, Monterrey of Mexico, Pachuca, which is the most recent CONCACAF Champions Cup winners, and the last team is Leon of Mexico too. Now, all these teams will be looking to compete. Now, personally, I don't really follow this region like that. I don't really know a lot about this region, but I know it was Monterrey who defeated Ahly 5-1. I think in the year 2013. I'm not really sure about that, but I know that they are strong. At least that's where they are equal to Africa and Asia in terms of ports. So yeah, they will be looking to compete and prove something too. Now for the AFC, Uslan, Owara Reds, Al Hilal, and Al Ain are the teams to watch. Those will be the four teams presenting AFC region. Now, Al Ain are the current AFC Champions League winners and have proven that they are a team that you should not underestimate. But for me, I feel Al Hilal are the teams that are the team is the team sorry that will actually prove a point in this Club World Cup. Because I feel that the most start team in this tournament, they have Neymar, Koulibaly, a lot of players actually, and I feel that they are the best team in the AFC. So and they will have a decent performance in this Club World Cup. Now for the Africa Cup Federation CAF, the four teams representing them are Wydad Casablanca of Morocco, Esperance de Tunis of Tunisia, Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa, and the great Al Ahly of Egypt. Al Ahly are the African club of the century and are the team from Africa that have dominated the continent time and time again, have been winning the Champions League. Like they have been to consecutive five five times now. 5 times they have been to the Champions League finals consecutively, not like different times. Last year, last 2 years, last 3 years, they were the ones that were the ones to beat. So they are in this amazing run of dominance in the African continent. And truly speaking, they are a team that I have getting out of the group no matter which group they are joining because they have already proven themselves against clubs like Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, football royal team Real Madrid. So they are a team that are just start and their pedigree will speak in this tournament. Now for the South Americans, now please note for the South Americans now, as of the time I'm recording this video, not all 6 of them are qualified. Though I will be also talking about the ones that are in the running, but the teams that have qualified are Palmeiras, Flamengo, Fluminense, and River Plate. The teams still in running for the qualification are Boca Juniors, Olimpia, and Nacional. These 3 teams have a really good gap of points compared to the other teams that are still in running. So I feel that out of these 3, 2 will be what qualifying. I feel that it could be Bukan Olympia because National is well we see how it goes. But out of all these teams, I feel that Palmeiras is the one to watch. They are the best team for me in South America. Knowing they did defeat Al I think 2-0 in 2021. So they are a very strong team. Even though right now it seems that they are shaking in their league, I feel that when the Club World Cup comes next year, they will prove their point as a team not to be taken lightly. Now, that being said, let's go back now to UEFA. Now, unsurprisingly, UEFA have the most slots in this tournament, and they are by far the ones to beat. Like, out of those 12 teams, one of them most likely will be the winners. But the 12 teams representing UEFA are Red Bull Salzburg, Juventus, Chelsea, Benfica, Porto, Atletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan, football royalty in Real Madrid, and the defending champions in Manchester City. And also that by the time this tournament does roll out come next year, all the teams I've mentioned so far will have their best form. They will be in their best form so that it can really be a tournament to remember. Now, I feel that FIFA's motive behind this tournament is a way to bridge the gap between Europe and the rest of the world. Because let's be honest, come now to the next how many years, Europe is still going to be up there. They're going to be the best. Like nothing compares to the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League now to be exact. The money, the quality of play, the fans. Like they are literally fans from other corporations that watch the Champions League as though it's their Champions League. That's just how powerful Europe is. I know it sounds far-fetched now, but think about it. All these clubs, the non-European ones now, will be entering and actually are guaranteed them huge amount of money. That will make them be able to keep their best players. Like imagine, let's say, players like Mohamed Salah were still playing for Al Ahly or Sadio Mane was still playing for Generation Foot, a Senegalese club. That would actually be very nice. Though they might never actually reach that pedigree of the European teams, but at the very least, competition globally will become a lot more competitive because of the stacked players that main teams used to have, like Al Hilal, for example, that kind of a thing. And I feel that the bigger picture of the storyline that can come out of this are things like what happened in the most previous World Cup that just passed, like Morocco, for example, Morocco's story, them making it all the way to the semi-finals that nobody expected it. A very big time for African football, to be honest. And not only Morocco now, but a team like Japan topping a group that had Germany and Spain. They topped that group. And sorry, countries like Belgium, Denmark, and Uruguay all getting knocked out in the group stage. That's the kind of thing that will come to your mind and should come to your mind come next year, because at the end of the day, it's football. It's the world's best sports, and it's just something that you have to just sit back and enjoy for the beauty of what it is. I mean, really speaking, Sean, let's go to the fans now. Looking at it, a lot of fans that are not Europeans watch European football. They worship them, they love them, they look up to them. So just imagine how it will feel like, alright, I'm a Real Madrid fan now, but I'm also Nigerian. Imagine that we feel, let's say, like my backyard team now in the league, let's say Rivers United or Eimba, actually qualify for the Club World Cup via the CAF qualifiers now, and are joining the team with Real Madrid. It will be a dream come true for me. So that's how all these fans feel. Just imagine like it will be Eimba versus PSG. Those kind of things are not things that we think about, but because of this tournament, it's going to be a possibility. That's just something that I really, it's it's really beautiful if you think about it. But all the same, football is becoming more global, and the power, and I repeat, the power, the power ranking is getting more balanced. I'll say, and this Club World Cup will be what ignites the fire to a brand new era of football. And I believe, because after this Club World Cup, I feel that the world, and I mean the world, and I refer to Europeans now, will be able to realize that there is actually still quality football played, not only Europe. Now, for this video, I've done a kind of power scaling of all the teams. I did that by dividing the teams into 4 pots of 8, just like a normal World Cup. I used the football database club ranking, as this shows a more acceptable way of ranking clubs that are in the same competition. Now, please note that when the World Cup does come next year, all these rankings that you are seeing now would have changed by then. So come next year, I will do another video to just show the rankings of the clubs based on the football database ranking. Other than that, I think I should just go into it. And now that I think about it, I still don't know exactly how FIFA plans on, like doing the pot or the ranking system. Because if we are going to go by, just points of how you are playing in the Club World Cup, then weaker teams will be ranked higher than normal teams. I know what I'm saying, but let us see how it goes. We don't yet know if I haven't yet put that one, because not all teams are qualified yet. But I wonder how they're going to do it, because really many of these teams are not in the same position, and if they are going to try to rank them according to ranking, it's going to be kind of tricky. But anyhow, I'm choosing this because I won't say I believe it, but I think it's more accurate than any other ranking that I can use. So for me, the pot 4, now please note, I will be starting from bottom to top for every pot. The teams in pot 4 are Seattle Sounders, Lyon, Urawa Reds, Wydad Casablanca, Olympia, Ahly, Auckland City, and Usman. These are the ones I call the favorites, as though they will try to compete. They are going to have it very, very difficult for them, and most likely they will finish last in their group. I just feel that the ranking does appear well, even though, yeah, alright, let me just move forward. The teams in pot 3 are Monterrey, Esperance de Tunis, Boca Juniors, Mamelodi Sundowns, Portugal, Fluminense, Red Bull Salzburg, and Al Ahly. These are the ones I call the challengers, as they will be able to compete. And even though they might not, come out of their group, I feel that they will all have solid performances in the group stage, and might be able to even grind out a win against the top 2 clubs. Now we move to the top two clubs, starting with pot two that I call the contenders. And teams are Flamingo, Ahly, River Plate, Juventus, Palmeiras, Chelsea, Benfica, and Porto. As the name implies, these are the teams that the pot one teams have to contend with for that top place finish in the group stage. And even though they might not top their group, most likely they will get out of the group because I feel that they will be able to defeat the other teams in the group, excluding the pot one teams. Now, for the pot one teams, the teams are Atletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Manchester City, and the host. Now I'm adding the host there because I feel it's a World Cup, so like last World Cup, FIFA World Cup now, Qatar was in pot one because the host always occupies the first position. If I was to go really by ranking, this the host clubs, which might either be Inter Miami or Real Salt Lake, are actually the lowest ranked clubs in this ranking. But I'm going to just put it there as where it's a FIFA tournament and the host does occupy the top of the standings. So other than that, excluding the host now, these pot one teams are by far the favorites to win the whole thing. I mean, without a doubt, the champion of this tournament will be one of these teams. I mean, just look at them. They have way too much good for them. Offensively, defensively, their depth is just way too much. And there's no way, at the very least, these guys are not making it to the quarterfinals unless they meet one of themselves. Unless that happens. Other than that, these are the ones to beat by far. And it's not disrespect to the other clubs. Well, the non-European clubs to be exact. These non-European clubs may actually have, they may have like, how will I put this now? They might have the pedigree, still being champion clubs of, confederation like Ahly, Auckland, winning their Champions League back to back. They might have that pedigree as champion clubs, and they might also have, like the fan base to prove that they are actually massive clubs. The money that they might have, all this kind of stuff. Because I think Ahly is 70% Egypt. Yeah, so they are a very massive club, but do they have the quality to compete?
That is the question.
Anyway, that doesn't mean that every single game is not going to be a treat, as it will be club football, but with a touch of the international feeling. That also means that all these clubs will have a lot more on the line because of like their pride and whatnot. I don't really care, but all the same, it's going to be a very very interesting game because every club is going to give it their all. Now, I should have said this earlier, is that about how the tournament will actually pan out. It's going to be 8 groups of 4 with the top 2 from each group qualifying to the knockout stage. So it's going to be like the normal World Cup for the group stage, actually, like 2018 World Cup, 2014, 2022. It's going to be like that. But in the knockout stages now, it's going to be from the last 16 due to the number of teams, and it's going to be single-legged matches all the way to the finals. But here's the catch: there won't be a third place playoff, making it really a club competition like the UCL. That also means that if you lose in the semi-finals, you are going home. Because that's why I hate those kind of tournaments. It's like Champions League. Now, they don't actually go home because it's not actually like host per se. But this one, even if you go as far as the semi-finals and you lose there, you are still going to go home. You might get consolation money and stuff, but you are not going to get any medal, man. Nothing. Only the champion gets. Okay, sorry. But that's just, it's really going to be ruthless. Like, if you go as far as the semis, you won't really get anything. And that's just, at the end of the day, it's still football. Anyway, as for the prize money of this tournament, though not yet officially announced by FIFA, reputable sources like uh, The Guardian and Football Italia have indicated that the total prize pool for this event will reach 2.5 billion euros. Now, see, if you are not European, this kind of money it's unheard of. The champions of Africa, what they get is nothing compared to this, and that means at least every club is guaranteed 50 million euros. That's just wow! Like the money itself it just shows how big a tournament this actually is going to be. Just for participating, you get 50 million, and if you go further, you get more than that. That also means that the champion might get around the 100 million mark. I think that's similar to what Man City got for winning the Champions League last season. So yeah, it's really going to be comparable in money to that of the Champions League, and that's just if that really does happen, really speaking, all these clubs that are here will be leagues ahead. Like the four clubs representing Africa right now will be leagues ahead of the continent, because with that kind of money, not only will they beef up their stadium, but they can actually buy players, really strong players, and keep them. 50 million is not a small amount of money. But all the same, it's just truly magnificent that all these unquote small teams can actually be banking that kind of money now because of this tournament. Money that they never dreamed that they could actually get. FIFA has given it to them. So thanks to FIFA for that. I just hope that this beautiful game comes to fruition. So yeah, there you have it, everyone. That is the Club World Cup. That is the Modal, the Club FIFA 2025. The FIFA World Cup 2025, Club World Cup 2025, that will take place in the United States. I hope to see all of you there come next year. Join me as I dive into this amazing tournament, and I hope that it will be one to remember, because this is the first edition, and the first is always like a filler of what will come next. So I hope that the second, third, fourth, and so on editions will all be this one, but I hope that this one will be the best that it can be, because at the end it's still a new experience for everybody. Nobody really, like, though we have watched the annual Club World Cup. Oh yeah, I'll add this too. Despite the fact that they have cancelled the annual Club World Cup, there is another one, the Intercontinental Cup. I think that's the name of the tournament. Simply put, it's going to be like the UEFA Champions League winners are seeded to the finals, while the OFC champions will play the host nation to then play either Asia, Africa, or CONCACAF. Well, so to either play either Asia or Africa, then North America and South America will play each other in another league. Then whoever wins that will not play UEFA. So it's basically just UEFA waiting for whoever is going to win, then play them and see how it goes. So that's going to be happening every year. It's going to be like replacing the annual Club World Cup that we had before. Other than that, it's simply just focusing on the Club World Cup that I'll be doing for the next 1 year or so. So I'm hoping that you join me as I dive into this amazing tournament, and we just see how it goes. Until then, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you there.